Órale, Cholo Choco, los tres chingones boxing. Shout out to all the chingones y chingonas. What is going on, man? Damn, it feels so damn long since I've been here to do this, and I couldn't wait, man. I could not wait. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's go ahead and bring in el gran chingon, el mero mero one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey Ed, what's going on, man? We missed you these past 2 weeks, bro. But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
assuming
I
you're
saw my
having a
replacement.
wonderful time,
I,
right?
I saw my replacement. I got to get me a hat and a shirt from that vato, man. Shouts to El Boxing
The
Guru, big
boxing
stout, man.
guru. Good
Yeah,
dude. You know what? That guy, he's always a phone call away. I go, hey, Cholo's gonna be gone 2 weeks. He goes, put me in, champ. Put me in. So,
that,
sabes que, gracias. You know what? And he knows a lot. He knows a lot of people too. And the
mhm,
dude has a good heart, man. He's a good dude. I like him a lot.
yeah,
We like
yeah.
him a lot. Yeah.
Always warming up in the bullpen. Well, I can't be the only one in here with four eyes, so let's bring in my other four-eyed brother, man, from Mikey TV One, Mr. Mike Zavala.
Gentlemen, what it is, man? What's up, Dave? What's up, Ed?
What's up, Mikey? Hey, you did
Welcome
a
back.
really good video, man. A good shout out to Boxing Guru. Great
Oh, the little
video.
video.
Yeah, that was hot.
Oh yeah, I threw him a little promo.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
happy.
good looking out on the team, man. That's
Hey,
right.
hey,
JC.
hey, hey, David.
Yeah.
Does it get cold over there where you're at?
You know what? I guess the coldest it probably gets is maybe 50 degrees. And that's in January, February. I believe one time they had it at 40, but it doesn't get lower than 50 degrees. That's in the winter time. In the winter time. Yeah. Right
Okay.
now it's still hot. Right now it's about 90 degrees still. It's
Damn.
still hot right now. Yeah.
Okay. It's cooling off over here. It's cooling off.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
Oh, no
yeah.
Yeah,
wonder Mike has that sweatshirt.
thermal.
Oh, thank God,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
it's good for
cooling off.
luxury.
By the way, shout outs to the homeboy Raider right here. If anybody wondering why I've been gone for 2 weeks, it's because of the Dodgers. They were in the World Series, in the biggest World Series of all time against the Yankees. I was at the parade last Friday, and it was game one the Friday before that. So I was covering Dodgers and Yankees. Good times, man. Good times. But we're back to some boxing. Um, there's a lot to get into. There's some fights going on this weekend that I haven't heard anybody bring up. But before we do that, do you guys watch a Schofield fight?
Yes.
Okay. David, what's your thoughts about Schofield? Because now, there's a little bit of trolling going back and forth that maybe he should get some big fights. What's your thoughts about him?
You know what? I wasn't a big fan. Now I am.
Mhm. Okay.
Now I am. You know what? That kid doesn't care what Oscar tells him. He doesn't care what his father tells him. You know what? He wants to fight. And it's been a long time since we've seen a kid like that want to fight. This guy that he was fighting, you know what? This kid had a jaw of steel, man, and had a body of steel. He was getting hit with everything, but the Vato was still standing, throwing, and I believe it was in the 10th round. Schofield got hit and got it wasn't a flash fall. He got hit, went down. He got back up. He saw his kid for the next 2 rounds. His father told him, box. This kid said, no, I'm fighting. And he fought. So you know what? That kid has a lot of heart, and I want to see him be a champ. I really do. He's not Keyshawn Davis. He's not Tank Davis. He's not all these dudes, bro. Shakur Stevenson, he's not that guy. He's not ready for them yet. But this
Uh-huh.
kid, tiene cora. You know what? He's a Chicano at heart.
Okay. Mikey, what's your thoughts about this kid Schofield?
Yeah, I mean, this kid. Hey, he's a fighter. He's a brawler. You got to match him up right, and he'll give you a hell of a fight, man. He'll give you a fight of the year type fight. This fight that he fought a Mexican national, and those guys they're not here to just lay down, and it was a good fight. And Schofield got hurt. And then he wanted to go sit down in the stool, and I believe he was still hurt. He was tired, and he fell. But those are the mistakes young fighters do. And he had a good fighter with him, and he's gonna learn from this. And you know what, Dave, I was thinking like, yeah, he can't beat Shakur Stevenson, but you know what? That's the style that you're supposed to face Shakur Stevenson.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
brawler versus a boxer. You're not gonna outbox Shakur Stevenson. You see what the Dominican, what's his name, Santos de los Santos did. He didn't want to budge. He didn't want to budge, and it was a boring fight. This was gonna eat a shot. He's gonna eat 5 shots. He probably even get dropped, and he'll rush Shakur Stevenson. So I wouldn't mind seeing that fight or versus El
Yeah.
Camarón. Why not?
All right, let me go. Let me go ahead and ask you this. I'll start with you first, Mikey. Something that David was alluding to, right? That he got hurt, and then is going to start him, hey, box, and it's like, nah, Charlie, man, I want to fight because I'm a fighter. Okay, can't that come back to hurt you though? I mean, how far is his
Yeah.
career really going to go? Can't that against a better opponent? Isn't that going to hurt him?
Yeah. Boxing's you got to have IQ in boxing. You got to have different tools in the toolbox. You got to have the bag, right? And this guy just knows how to come forward, and there's gonna be a time when he needs to go to his toolbox and box. You see what Virgil Ortiz did when he fought the Russian dude. But Virgil Ortiz will comes at you, but you see he went into his toolbox and he
Yeah.
boxed a little bit to weather the storm. And sometimes you got to box a little bit. Why not? So yeah, and also you got to listen to your corner. I know he won the fight, and I know his heart and all that, but sometimes heart doesn't win the fight. Like Big G says and Dave said, "Más vivo que valiente." So you got to be smart than to have courage. So yeah, dude, it will hurt him. Ed, that's a good point.
Yeah, David. I mean, I like it too. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. I liked it too. I was kicking with my sons. I'm like, man, I had a couple homies come down, and I'm like, man, look at this, man. It's badass. This dude is something else, man. But at the same time, David, I mean, this can also hurt him, can it?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. But it just shows you with the right trainer, which is following. He had Shields with him. What's his first name? Shields, Eddie Shields. No, what is
Ronnie
it?
Shields. Ronnie Shields.
Ronnie
Yeah,
Shields.
Ronnie
And you know
Shields.
what?
That's right.
Yeah.
He had him as a second, and he's a good trainer. So I agree with you guys. But you know what? I just saw a kid that wants to entertain and wants to fight. And you don't see that. Tell me, when was the last time we saw somebody like that? You know what I mean? When the coach is saying box, dance, and this dude saying, I want to fight. And even when they interviewed him, he even said, he goes, people paid their hard-earned cash to come see me, not run. They see me fight. So you know what? My respect, but I agree with both of you. You know what? That's why he has a coach, especially Ronnie Shields.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thoughts is, I like the kid. I kind of agree with you, David, all the way around. Like he didn't really capture my attention too much before, but this fight, for whatever reason, I'm kind of like, okay, I actually want to follow this kid now, and I think he could have a good, promising future. I still don't see it in him where I'm like, oh yeah, this kid's gonna be something special. I don't see anything special in him yet. It could happen, but as of right now, I don't see anything special. But I see something good in him. That, yes, good enough where he can compete and possibly maybe one day be great. There's some fighters where it takes a while for you to see their greatness, that they have to get there to be great. And then there's other fighters that immediately you're just like, that guy's the one. That guy's the one. He's not that guy where it's like you snap your finger and yep, that's the one. He's great. He may be great one day, but as of right now, I think he's just good, and I think he could build. I think he could build. So
Hey
I
Ed, would you agree, and Mikey, that he's not that guy you could say great? Would you agree that Abdullah Mason is that guy? I know, I'm jumping out of the subject here, but would you agree that Abdullah? Because right now you said that, I thought,
yeah.
who is? And then I thought, you know what, Abdullah Mason is that guy. The way you described him. Would
Mm,
you agree, Ed, on that? Because he's gonna fight right now after this fight.
yeah, yeah. Uh yeah. I mean,
He's special, man.
I
He's
yeah,
special. Yeah.
I've heard people talk about him that he is something special. I'm still undecided. I will say I see something more in him than doing Schofield.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that for sure. Yes, that for sure. Mikey,
Yeah, I like his skill, man. I like what he does, how he operates in inside the ring. Yeah, he can box a little bit, he can bang. I like how he works in the inside. So yeah, he does have that skill, but we're gonna see. He has to be the best. You got to pass the test, and we've seen what happened to the Victor Ortiz's. And now that when you looked at, oh, this guy's gonna be good, and there's always one guy that comes and takes your heart, and you're never the same.
Yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
for
good. It
sure,
looks
man.
good.
Yeah, for sure. Sticking with this, Tank Davis turned 30 years old. 30 years old, and people are criticizing him now that with his resume, that just like, man, you're a 30-year-old dude, man, with a horrible resume. David,
Ed, but he's the
yeah.
face of boxing. He's the face of boxing.
Nah.
I'll tell you, okay. I'll tell you guys this about Tank Davis and him turning 30 years old and his resume. I don't think he would get much criticism if they didn't try to push Tank Davis to be this whole, big superstar or whatever. If he was just a guy, just another guy, which that's really what he is. He's just another boxer. He's not something special, because his resume proves it. But then I don't think people will complain about it. But because he's getting pushed out there that he is, this top guy, then there is a lot of criticism that comes with it, with him turning 30 years old. Was it yesterday or today? I forgot which one. And his resume where it's at. Uh, David, what I'm asking about Tank Davis is, now that he's in his 30s, does he go after big money fights? He owes $30,000 on one of his properties. They're taking away one of his properties in Baltimore, so he doesn't have the money for it. He's still
Thirty
got some
thousand?
legal. Yeah, he owes 30,000. He's losing his townhouse. It's like some mansion townhouse or something like that in Baltimore, and he lost it, but he still owes 30 grand on it. He can't pay it. David, now does he go after some big money fights? Does he go after some of these bigger fights?
You could take the boy out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the boy, bro. I
Mm,
mean, really, I mean, this guy, he's gotten paid. I don't know how many millions, 20 million when he fought and he knocked him out. The one that beat
right,
Tank David, Ryan Garcia.
right.
You know, he made
Uh,
like $21 million on that fight. Every fight he gets $8 to $10 million. What's he doing with his money? You know what I mean?
mm,
He's another Mike Tyson. Um, that's sad. I didn't know that. And you know what? thirty
mm,
thousand is nothing. Thirty
Yeah,
thousand
sell a
is
chain or
nothing
something.
for a man like him. You know what I mean? Who made $20 million. 30,000 is nothing for a man that made 21 million dollars. Ed, there's something wrong with that picture. Somebody's ripping him off, or because you don't see him living an extravagant life. You don't see him, partying. You don't see that side of it. You know what I mean? So somebody must be ripping him off, because in 2 years you don't lose $21 million. You don't. He lives in Fort Lauderdale, has a house in Fort Lauderdale. It's a nice house. It's not a mansion, but it's a nice house. It's worth maybe 1.2, $1.6 million. You know, you don't lose 21 million. There's something wrong there.
yeah, I think his property in Baltimore was worth like 3 point something mil, 4 point something mil, or whatever, and he's losing it. So it's not
For
so much that he's going broke.
30,000. Wow.
Yeah, it's
That
not so
makes sense.
much that he's really going broke, but yeah, like you said, he does have a property in Florida, so
Yeah.
maybe he can't keep up with both. Maybe he's losing that one and just sticking with this one in Florida. But you know what? That's a good point, David. I haven't thought about that. So you just brought it up. Mikey, is it possible, man, that somebody's Mike Tyson, uh, Tank Davis, man? Somebody's ripping him off.
I mean, these athletes, they get ripped off. They're not. Uh, money educated or whatever however you want to call it, financial literate, and they do get ripped off. Bad investments, their own accounting rips them off. They got to pay taxes, and maybe we're not hearing that. What if he owes taxes, or maybe it's just cap? Maybe it's just a rumor because Tank Davis always there's always rumors, and he got in a fight with Floyd Mayweather, this and that. Is he fighting pretty soon or something? I don't know, because every time he's about to fight or something, there's a rumor. But he owes 30,000. Can't he sell one of his rings?
Yeah,
That's my question.
his necklace.
Yes, necklace.
Easy.
Yeah, but again, he owes it to his Baltimore property. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe he can't keep up with both properties. So it's not like he's going homeless. It's not like he's losing his place of residence. So he does have his spot in Fort Lauderdale. I just think he probably can't keep up with both properties, and he's letting that go.
But Ed, $20 million 2 years ago.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
Ed. I mean,
Yeah.
really? He can't keep up with two little properties? Come
And
on.
there's property
Yeah.
managers, right? There's property
Yeah.
managers. They take care of all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds easy for me, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's get off of him for a second. Hey, guys. Terrence Crawford. We've heard this before. He's saying it again. There was rumors about Terrence Crawford possibly fighting Sebastian Fundora. He's putting all that stuff to bed. He's putting it to rest. He's saying les Canelo or nothing. Canelo or nothing. So all the rumors, anything that was going on with maybe a fight with Sebastian Fundora or anybody else at 154, he is putting it to bed and saying, nope, not happening. Canelo or nothing. As of right now, Canelo has not entertained this at all. We don't know who Canelo's going after next. Mikey, is this it for Crawford? If he really does not get the Canelo fight, do we see him fight again?
And he can make some great fights.
Oh, yeah.
I think he is. I think he will. I think. Well, by the way, right now he's in Cartagena, Colombia, where I was at. He's partying, so I don't. Maybe this is it. There's video of him right now in Cartagena, Colombia. But yeah, as for Canelo right now, there's rumors of him fighting Billy and then fighting what's his name? Better Be It, because he's with Top Rank. Yeah. So there's rumor of Canelo doing business with Top Rank because Bob Arum wants him. So maybe he's not going to see that Canelo fight, but we never know. But I think he'll still fight. He's just saying Canelo or nothing, and that's all he wants. So people won't talk trash about him because there's a lot of fights at 54, man, and they're monsters.
Mikey, okay, who and when?
I mean, I'm not sure. This guy doesn't really fight. I'm not sure. I can't really answer that right now. I haven't even thought about it.
Okay, David, same question. If he doesn't get the Canelo fight, which it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, do we see Crawford fight again? If we do, who and when? Or does Crawford stay down in Colombia, handling Mikey sloppy seconds?
Have him. You know what? Have him fight. Have him fight his baby's mama in the pillow fight. You know what? He's done, dude. Okay. Retire. The guy's a great champ. Was a great champ. Well, retire as a great champ. If that's your ultimatum, if that's your ultimatum, give me Canelo or I retire. Retire with honor. Retire with grace. You know what I mean? Because like Mikey said, there's so many great fights. He could fight Bohacek. He could fight Virgil Ortiz. He could fight Madrimov again. He could fight Fundora. Look at the 154. It's on fire right now. So retire. Retire. Yeah. Goodbye. Thank you very much. And let's go. Let's start picking up our champions, Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, I would say, and what's up, Anthony Bravo? He's saying when the Feria runs low, he will. To a certain extent, I kind of agree with that. I'm going to say this. Look, yeah, there's some great fights, but is there any big money fights for him at 154? I'm not so sure. Some fights make more money than others, yeah, but I'm not so sure what's a big money fight for him out there. Some of these fights, I'm thinking about them. It's like, man, these are some great fights. These are some badass fights for us to watch. I'm just not sure if there's really pay-per-view material fights that's gonna sell a lot. I'm not sure if there's any big money fights for him. I
Hey Ed, you know what?
Yeah.
He doesn't generate the money
Yeah.
for big fights. I
Uh,
mean, unless if you're a boxing aficionado like us, we know about him, but he doesn't have no personality, so he doesn't generate. So they're not going to give him $30 million for a fight that people lose. I mean, even Bob Arum, remember Mikey? He said
Yep.
several times, "I lost money with this guy." And look at Turkey; he just lost a bunch of money in LA last year.
yeah,
So I mean, retire, go home and have a wonderful life. I think he's invested his money well. So you know what? Have a wonderful life. Thank you for your everything you did for boxing, which was a lot. He'll be in the
yeah,
Hall of Fame, not a doubt.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
not that
yeah.
guy.
Not,
He's not that
No,
guy.
he's
yeah, no, no. Now he could go party with Mikey, man. He could go abroad and party with Mikey, man.
in Cartagena.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
Puerto Rican rum. Not only that, but Turkey Al Sheikh was trying to buy a box wreck as well. So he wanted to control that. So yeah, man, we'll see. I think we do see Crawford again. Um, he only fights once a year. I do think we see him fight next year, sometime late. Um, Depending on what happens at 154, I think we do see him in there. Maybe somebody against maybe in Australia, there's some money to be made with what's his name? Come on,
Tim
you guys
Zoo?
help me out
Tim
here.
Zoo?
Tim Zoom.
Tim Zoo?
With Tim Zoo, maybe, but there's not a lot of money for him to be made. You know, him and Errol Spence, it had to be that fight for their money to be made. But just there's good fights to be made, but there's not big money fights. That's what it comes down to. So if he's looking for money, not gonna be a lot there. So gentlemen, before we get to the fights tomorrow, there is a little bit of breaking news. Jaime Munguia is
Oh
gonna
yeah.
fight before the he's gonna fight before the year is over against some guy I never heard of him. Sureis Sureis. I don't know who he is. I didn't really look into him because I just saw it as soon as we were when I was getting this ready. But the even bigger news is that, and we're going to get to Oscar De La Hoya in just a second. But the even bigger news is that this fight will be promoted by Zanfer Promotion and Top Rank. So a lot of this Oscar De La Hoya clapping, talking about that like he still has Mungia. This is now two fights for Mungia where he's not fighting under Golden Boy. This is going to be on ESPN under Top Rank and Zanfer Promotions. David, what's your thoughts on Mungia fighting again before the year is over, even if it's against a nobody, and him not fighting under Golden Boy?
You know what? He was never with Golden Boy. He's always
Mm,
been with Sanford, but Sanford allowed Golden Boy to basically use their name in America, you know? And I think that after the Canelo fight, Oscar made a lot of money. Fernando Beltran made a lot of money. And Fernando has always had a lot of loyalty to Top Rank. You know, he's had a lot of loyalty to them always. So because of that, you know what? The guy that he's fighting, I did a little bit of research on him. He's from France. He's, I believe, 20-0 and two draws, and only has two knockouts. So this is a good fight for Jaime. He'll knock him out. I believe it's going to be Plaza de Toros. It's going to be in Tijuana. It's going to be a big fight. You know what? It keeps him in shape for his next fight. Hopefully against Pacheco. Actually, I believe it's probably going to be against
And
what's his
Billy?
name? No, not on Billy, against the Puerto Rican. Man,
Yeah.
I'm having a bad day today.
Berlanga.
Yeah, Berlanga.
Berlanga.
I believe it's going to be against Berlanga. I really do. The reason why, because Eddie Hearn's been really pushing for that fight. He's pushing for that fight. So it'll keep him in shape. Meantime, Berlanga is handing out sodas and putting more tattoos in Mexico, and this guy's fighting. You know what I mean? Acting like if he won the fight. Literally, he thinks he won the
Yeah,
fight against Canelo.
Yeah,
está
he's
loco.
Ah,
definitely
loco.
doing some victory laps, man.
Yeah, he
Mikey,
is. He is.
what's your thoughts on Jaime Munguia? The Martin says that rumor was that
No,
Munguia signed a 2-fight co-promotion deal. Okay,
no, that's
Yeah,
all
not true.
right. I haven't
That's
heard
what they're
that,
telling
but
us.
yeah, that
That's what
was
they're telling us.
okay.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I heard in some
yeah.
boxing channels that he did fight. He signed a two fight, but we don't really know. Nobody knows.
No, it's not.
Um,
Mm.
but he's coming to Tijuana. I just got the news today, and my cousin wants to go, so I might even go to Tijuana to go watch the fight. I don't know, but
Dude,
it's a
you
homecoming.
you go to Cartagena. You're not gonna go to Tijuana. Come on.
That's right. Yeah, it's December 10 or something, the 14th, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a homecoming. This guy, he fought Canelo. He has a little name, so he's bringing it home, and I think he's gonna pack the house in Tijuana,
Oh,
and he's
without
gonna
a
get a
doubt.
sensational knockout. Get him ready for whoever
Yeah.
he's gonna fight. Yeah,
Uh, top rank outside of Munguia would be in Billy that top rank has at 168. So they could probably make that match. But however, if Billy can get the Canelo fight, then that's definitely the route you got to go. So yeah, you know what? Big ups to Munguia, man, staying busy. I
Yeah.
mean, what else can he? He suffered a loss and he's been back. And man, he's fighting 2 times after his loss in a single calendar year. So, I mean, I gotta give it up to this guy. I'm not the biggest Jaime Munguia fan, but what he's doing, I like. So, man, keep it up.
busy.
Yeah, staying busy. All right, gentlemen. So let's break this down. Okay, so if you guys remember or don't remember, it wasn't that big of a deal here in this side of the world, but Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren got together with a 5-on-5 tournament between their promotions. It happened overseas. I went live and I watched some of it. Um, Now there's a rumor out there, and the promoters are actually into it. Golden Boy being one. We'll get to him right now. So Eddie Hearn came out and he proposed, all right, let's do a 5-on-5. Matchroom versus Golden Boy. Here are the matchups. Boots Ennis versus Ryan Garcia. Shakur, sorry, Mike. Yeah, I gotta mute you. Boots Ennis versus Ryan Garcia. Shakur Stevenson versus William Zapata. Israel Madrimov versus Virgil Ortiz. Jaya Patel versus Gilberto Ramirez. And Catterall versus Ramirez. 5-on-5. Now, Oscar came back and he answered, not with the exact list, but almost close to it. Let's check out what he had to say.
There have been rumors that my company, Golden Boy Promotions, may do a 5-on-5 against Matchroom Sports, which is run by my buddy Eddie Hearn.
Bruh.
We all know Eddie has the worst record as a promoter, and his fighters aren't the cream of the crop.
Bruh.
But I'm always up for giving the fans a good night of fights under one condition. The fights will be contested in a tiny ring, so nobody can run. And since we have the best matchmaking in Golden Boy, these are the fights I propose. Virgil Ortiz versus Boots, Munguia versus Pacheco, Cepeda versus Shakur, Oscar Duarte versus Devin Haney, and the winner of Ramirez Barboza will take on Jack Catterall. Hell, let's even make it a 6-on-6 with me and you, Eddie,
Bruh.
in the main event.
All right. All right.
That was sick. I like Oscar. He's fucking dope. Yeah, I like those matches. They're fire.
They're not bad matches. Either one, either Eddie Hearns or Oscar. Oscar's train switched it up just a little bit. He took
Yeah.
away the Jaya Pataya, Gilberto Ramirez. He threw in Eduardo Duarte in there, which people have kind of forgotten about. But yeah, either one of those lists is good. Now, Eddie Hearn did come back already and publicly say that he's down. So if that's lit now, I don't think he said that he's down to get into the ring with Oscar. But
Mhm.
with the list that Oscar proposed, David, does this happen? You interested in this at all?
Oh, I am, but I don't think Pacheco's ready for Munguia. I wouldn't
Okay.
want to see him fight Munguia yet. You know what I mean? Let's take him up. This he's a kid. You know what I mean? Let's give him about two more fights. He'll be ready for Munguia. Munguia will tear him up. You know what I mean? I don't like that one.
Really?
I mean, I believe so. Munguia has a lot of experience. I mean,
Yep.
fighting Canelo. I mean, this kid, look at his last two fights. Even though his last fight he looked okay, before that, Pacheco's last two fights, dude, they gave him boxing lessons. Think about it. But this last one, yes, he knocked him out. It was a good fight, but he's still growing. You know what I mean? He's still growing. Um, but I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mikey, you man, not a lot of faith with Pacheco. Mikey, you were saying that Pacheco could fight Canelo, man. Um,
I
what's your
mean, he's a
thought?
number one contender, right, for one of
Yeah.
the belts.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts on this 5-on-5?
I like Oscar's because Ryan Garcia can't beat Boots Ennis unless he comes on steroids and drunk and fucking on crack. But no, I like Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis. Once upon a time, they were talked about in at 147. So Boots Ennis is gonna move up to 54, and uh, Virgil Ortiz had a rough fight. So man, he's ready for him. His shots won't even affect him. And I
Yeah.
like that Duarte versus Devin Haney. Devin Haney's
Yeah.
chin is kind of
Yeah.
suspect. Duarte hits hard. He's kind of mencito, but he's dope. I like him. So man, they're good matches. I like who's gonna fight the runner? What's his name?
Shakur, and Camarón. Cepeda.
Cepeda,
That's
Cepeda.
that's a good one. That's a good one too.
Good
I'm
fight.
down for
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So I'm game. I'm game.
Yeah, to me, I don't think there's a wrong answer on whichever list you're gonna go with. The only one, like you mentioned, Mikey, the only one on Eddie Hearns, Boots Ennis versus Ryan Garcia, like like Boots will put
Yeah.
it to Ryan, man. He'll put it to him. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll be fun to watch.
He,
It'll be
he
fun
has
to
that
watch.
left hook, but
Uh,
I don't
It,
know.
it'll be fun to watch. But that's the only one out of Eddie Hearn's list. Uh, 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 but I do like the Jai Patel versus Gilberto Ramirez, though. But I think Jai puts it to him. But Oscar's list, I think, is good too. I don't think there's a wrong answer. And since Eddie Hearn already said, okay, cool, I'm down with your list and we'll do it in a small ring, let's go. Vatos Locos forever, right? Yeah, hopefully it happens, man. That should be the next project that they should be looking to make Turkey Al Sheikh to go ahead and do this. Should this take place in Saudi though? You got a lot of names on here that are big on this side of the world. Okay, now Turkey Al Sheikh did have a card, a little bit of a, the main event wasn't all that with the Crawford fight out here, and he actually lost money. Um, should they do this in Saudi? Should they keep it on this side of the world, Mikey?
I like it here. I like it here. I think
Mm.
Turki Sheik said that he's not making fights here anymore. That he's gonna take them back over there. Uh, I mean, a ring is a ring. Like when basketball, they say, "Hey, a basketball is a basketball." You shouldn't be crying what kind of basketball you're playing with. A rock is a rock. A ring is a ring. And if you like the fight game, wherever they fight, you're gonna watch it. But I like it here. I like it here. The fans, the atmosphere. I want it home. But yeah, I don't know.
David, can they sell this to be a big event like they're trying to make it? Because they failed last time with the Crawford. Because that main event, nobody really knew who Idrio Madrimov was. They needed some bigger names. You got some pretty decent names right here. Or should they go to Saudi? What's your thought?
First of all, I don't see it happening.
Okay.
Shakur Stevenson's always getting hurt. You know what I mean? I don't see it happening. I don't see Boots Ennis going to 154 to fight a killer. You know what I mean? I think Virgil will take it in a heartbeat, but I don't see Virgil. I mean, Boots Ennis, dude, he's fighting a killer. You know what I mean? He's never fought at 154. Uh, so I don't see it happening. I mean, it's wishful thinking. You know what I mean? And if it did happen, hey, it would be a sellout because almost all of these fighters are pay-per-view fighters right now. You know what I mean? What we're seeing right now. They're not pay-per-view fighters in my generation, but in this generation, dude, they're all good fighters. You know what I mean? I mean, you got some great champions, great fighters. I don't see it happening. And then for Oscar to bring up Jaime Munguia when Jaime Munguia is not even with him anymore. So I think it's just wishful thinking, and they want publicity right now. But if they could make it happen, I'd love it, man. It would be awesome. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, you brought up the Jaime Munguia thing, and I agree. Unless that rumor is true, the 2 fight deal for whatever reason with Top Rank, and then he goes back, which who knows if that's true or not. Then yeah, Oscar has no say so about Munguia. Maybe they could fill that in with something else. The reason why I think this does have a chance, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but why it has a chance to happen is because Turkey Al Ashik is there, and these guys are gonna get paid through the roof. So that's why the incentives is there to, hey, I don't want to move up, or I don't want to fight this guy 'cause he's a monster. It's never happened before. Yeah, but you get paid a lot more money to do it. So I think it's possible. I wouldn't hold my breath on it, and maybe there's some adjustments on some of the fights that happen. If you promote this thing the right way, um, I think it can become a pretty good event here on this side of the world. I don't want to see it in Saudi, but oh well, man. I mean, Turkey Al Ashik he's the one that's gonna be running the show.
And when we talk about a lot of money, Crawford made $10 million on that big fight in LA
Mm.
against Madrobov. Is that a lot of money? You know what I mean? For Crawford, pound for pound, uh, fighting Madrobov at 154. I mean, is that a lot of money? They just offered was it a 2 fight deal or a 3 fight deal or just a 1 fight deal? He just signed with Turkey Al Hashish for $20 million. Do you guys know how much if it was a 1 fight deal, 2 fight deal?
I could look it up. I could look
I
it up. I think we got a 4 fight deal, no?
I mean, for $20 million, a 4 fight deal. Come on.
mm,
Let me look it
You don't
up.
think he makes a lot more than that? I mean, Canelo makes $30 to $50 million a fight. And I know it's Canelo, but we're all talking about Turkey Al Hashish paying these guys. I mean, 10 million for Crawford, is that a lot? To me, it's not. I would have thought he
I-
would have made at least $20 million in that fight. And he still lost money with 10 million.
yeah,
You know?
I, I I think, David. I think for Crawford, it is a lot of money because he himself is not a big draw. Is he a great fighter? Yeah, but he himself is not a great
No.
draw, and he doesn't draw a lot of money. So especially with the opponent that he had. Yeah, Israel Madrimov is a dangerous opponent, but he brings in no revenue
No.
whatsoever. So $10 million for Crawford, with all things considered, I do think it was a lot of money for Crawford for fighting a guy that nobody even really knew. I do think it was a lot of money for him. Monster anyway. I mean, I know he signed a promotional deal with Turkey Al Ashik. I didn't hear that he signed a fight deal with him.
No, it's a fight deal. He's gonna fight.
Okay,
He's gonna fight under his banner.
okay,
Yeah, and I think he's going to
okay,
fight over there
okay.
after the December fight. He's going to fight, but I don't know, Mikey. Does it say if it's a one fight deal for 20 million?
No, he signs a deal with Rida Season Japanese superstar boxer. No, he has signed a historic contract with Saudi General to say whatever chairman Turkey Al Sheikh. They don't say how much. Let me look it up. Let me continue to.
I
Yeah, it's
had read that it
19.
was 20 million.
I think it's 19 million. And what the
20
one in here,
million. 20 million. It says for now. Let me look at the.
think it's a
Let me.
sponsored deal. I'm not sure if it's a fight deal though. I think
19.7
it's just
million sponsorship deal. It's a sponsorship
sponsored.
deal
Yeah.
with
So
Rida Season.
what's the difference? Sponsorship and fighting deal.
I don't know the difference.
I, I I think from what I understand, and I don't know this to be true, but from what I understand, basically his name is just attached to the promotion. He goes to the fights. whatever it may be. Maybe they put Riyadh season on his trunks or something of that sort. He's there to sponsor. He doesn't have a fight deal. That's from what I understood. That's why I knew it was like promotion or sponsorship or something of that sort. Why they would do it, I don't know. But I think Turkey eventually wants to get him.
Yeah, it says one of the little just highlights of the column, whatever. It says that Turkey Al-Sheikh would encourage him for a fight. In other words, like he has a sponsorship, but he could encourage him like, hey, you should fight here. But he doesn't. It's
Mm.
from what it looks like that. Yeah, he's not gonna make him fight.
Oh, okay, so he's not
So
fighting. Oh, I thought it was a fight deal. So just to
Yeah.
have his
Just
logo,
to
his
have his
picture on his trunks.
just to have his
20
presence
million.
around.
Wow.
Just hey, Holmes, come kick it with me for 19.7 million. Let's hang out, man.
yeah,
I'll buy your friendship, Holmes. Come kick it
Yeah.
with me, man. So that's basically what it is. So we'll see what happens. Hey, gentlemen, we do have some fights tonight. We do have a fight tomorrow or some fights tomorrow. Let me go ahead and start with this because I think this is gonna trip people out, man. The fight that everybody's been waiting for is finally here. Hope you guys are gonna watch it. It is gonna be on on Pro Box TV. It is the return of Jojo Diaz fighting
oh my
Yo
god.
Andres Salinas in a 10-round fight. I haven't heard anybody bring this up. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. It's on tomorrow evening on Pro Box TV. Mikey, are you gonna watch this fight?
Nah, man. I'd rather go to the Ross and look for some underwear or something. Nah, I'm not watching that. I'd rather go to Ross and look for some Nike socks on sale for the gym. To go to the gym. I'm good, man. I'm good.
David, David, I've never heard of this Cuban guy. He has a record of 23 2-2. Jojo Diaz, we already know what's up with him. The Cuban guy's 39 years old. Would you be watching this fight?
No, dude, we got some great fights, man. I mean, we got Bam. You're going to talk about him right now. Why am
Yeah,
I going to
yeah,
waste
yeah.
my time with Jojo? I have two TVs on when I could watch two other good fights. You know what I mean? No, I'm not going to waste my time, man.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna be honest with everybody, man. Whether I watch it live or don't, I am gonna make it a point to watch. I am, man. I am. I'm gonna be that sucker, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Look, also another fight, real quick. I don't know where it's being televised, but it will be in Puerto Rico. Subrio Matias returns to the ring tomorrow in Puerto Rico. I don't see what network you could
It's
watch
it's
this
pay
at.
per view. It's a pay per view fight, but they
Oh,
haven't told us which pay per view is going to air it.
okay. Against Roberto Ramirez in what is this, in a 10-round fight. So the return of Subrio Matias. David, you interested at all?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching it. I mean, I'm not going to
Sure.
pay for it, but I mean, I like Matias. You know what? So he had a loss, but I mean, we were talking that he was the monster of the division. And now he's the Goldilocks of the division. You know, but I mean, he's an exciting fighter. He likes to fight,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
not going to watch it. Like I said, I'm not going to pay for that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Mikey is one Mike Zavala all over this fighter now.
I mean, like they said, once upon a time, we were calling him a monster and everything, and he took a
Yeah.
L.
Yeah.
He's no longer with Panda, from what I heard. The trainer, I
No.
guess he had. Well, how many losses how many times did Severe Latinos lose with Panda? Just once, right?
None. No, I don't think he had
Yeah,
a loss. Mikey, did he have a loss
yeah, he
before?
With,
lost.
with Panda, yeah,
Oh, with
yeah,
Panda, yeah, one
yeah,
loss.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that one fight, and I guess it didn't work out, and he left back to Puerto Rico, and let's see if he can regroup, and do something. But yeah, I mean, there's other fights that I'm interested in, and yeah, it sounds kind of bad that he took a loss, and I'm not interested in him. I'm not paying for damn sure. I'm not paying for him to fight paper, but if he goes in the undercard of these fights or something, I'll watch it, of course. But yeah, I'm not gonna pay to see Sufria Matias fight. Uh, nah, but I'll watch it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay though. I'll watch it, man. But all right, guys. Tonight you got Keyshawn Davis, man. Keyshawn Davis, upcoming fighter. We all know who Keyshawn Davis is. Some people like him, some people don't. He's getting in there against a veteran, man. I remember this dude. He fought Richard Hitchinson.
Yeah.
¿Cómo se llama? Limos.
Limas.
Limos.
Limas. Limas.
Limas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gustavo Limos. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Limos only has one loss, and that was it. And that was his last fight.
Hmm.
Gustavo Limos. Keyshawn Davis only has 11 fights, man. So he's going in there against a pretty damn good, rough veteran. I remember that fight, man. This dude, Gustavo Limos, is no punk. And not to mention, okay, you could take this two different ways. Limos came in over 6 pounds overweight, okay, into this fight. Now,
Limos did.
here's,
Limos is
yeah,
overweight.
yes,
Really?
yes,
Wow.
oh, big time. Oh, he blew the weight by a
I
country mile, David.
I know
He blew
why.
the weight. Okay,
I know why.
let me get to that. All right,
Yeah. Yeah.
people,
Okay.
yeah, people gotta remember, Limos fights at 140. Okay,
Exactly.
that's where he fought Hitchens. Okay, he fought him at 140. Keyshawn did this fight's at 135. So there's a little bit of back and forth of what people think about Keyshawn Davis, saying like, "Hey, why you draining a dude to come down to fight you?" Right? Limos did not make the weight by over 6 pounds. His last fight was at 140. Keyshawn Davis said, let the fight go on. Okay. David, talk to us about this fight, man. This dude, hey, he's got 30 fights and he didn't, he's no pushover.
You know what, man? It's going to be interesting because you know what? He didn't allow himself to get drained down. So
Mhm.
he's going to come in with his power. And Keyshawn, he's okay. He's not great. I can't wait. Now I'm going to watch it. I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to stay up to 11 o'clock watching it, but now I am because you know what? I think that might be his first loss.
Wow. Damn. Okay. Okay. Mikey, break this fight down for us, carnal.
Oh, this guy's Argentinian. He's managed, if I'm not mistaken, by Chino Maidana. This guy's a straight brawler. He comes up, he just comes at you. It just keeps coming and coming and coming, kind of like Schofield, right? But he has a little bit more skill than Schofield. He's a Latino, South American. These guys are bangers. They're killers. They don't have a lot of skill, but they're killers, and they're good. I don't know his how much power does he have? According to what I've seen, if I didn't say he has power, then it probably doesn't have a lot of power. But he comes at you, and he did Hitchens is a good fight, and they say he even beat him. But the thing is that yeah, he didn't allow himself to get drained, but he still got drained. Like he still tried to go under 140, and since 2020, he's been fighting at 140, and now they moved him down, and this could affect him, but it might not. So we'll see. But if it doesn't affect him, this kid is for a long night. This guy knows the tricks. He'll hit you in the balls, back of the head. It's gonna be an ugly fight. I like Keyshawn Davis, but he's not. I don't see nothing special in him. He's solid. He's got his fundamentals are nice. He knows how to control the fight. He rolls punches. Controls distance. But what happens when you get rushed? That's what happens when you can't. He doesn't allow you to think and roll your punches and be pretty. So we're gonna see. But he is the bigger guy. He has the advantage in length and height, and he did drain him, if you want to call it that. But I hope it's a great fight, and this kid is going to be for a long night. And this guy doesn't get affected because he's dope. I like this guy.
Yeah, let me ask you, David. Keyshawn Davis took the fight. He took the money, knowing that Limons blew the weight by a lot. If if Davis loses tonight, does he have a leg to stand on to say like, "Well, the guy didn't make weight"? He agreed. He knew he didn't make weight. He took the money. Limons had to pay him some feria. Does Keyshawn Davis, if he loses tonight, does he have a leg to stand on to complain and say, "Well, he didn't make the weight"?
You know what? Tonight we're going to find out a lot about Keyshawn Davis. One of
Okay.
them, if he does come up with an excuse like that,
Mhm.
shame on him. You know what I mean? Shame on him. Uh, we're going to learn a lot about him. If he loses and he says, hey, man, he was a better man, my respect. But if he comes out taking the money and saying that I lost because of the weight, you know what? Screw him. Just shows he's a punk. You know what I mean? So tonight, we're not only going to see if the dude has a lot of heart, but what he says after he loses, if he loses, which I truly believe, like Mikey, that's going to be a long night and he just might lose. I mean, Matias right now, or Martin mentioned that Keyshawn's last fight. I mean, yes, I do question his power. You know,
Mhm.
I do question his power. He hit that guy with everything, and sabes que that guy kept coming. And I think this guy Limas, he has the same type of strategy that he could hit him as much as can, but he's going to continue coming forward. So we'll see. We'll see if he takes it like a man. If he does lose,
Okay. Mikey, does
or
Keyshawn Davis?
or if he sues him, if he sues him.
Let me see that. That's the thing in boxing, right?
Mikey, does Keyshawn have a leg to stand on? He took the money. He knew he was overweight. If he loses tonight, does Keyshawn have a leg to stand on to say, like, well, he didn't make the weight, and that's why?
I mean, yes, technically, yes. Hey, he's fighting at home, so the show must go on. And right, it's a homecoming fight, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
for Keyshawn Davis, yeah.
it's a homecoming fight. And you know what? I did it for you guys. This guy came in heavy. Hey, but you know what I mean? I gave you what I got. If he loses or it was a close fight, I think it's gonna be a close fight, unless this guy's drained. But I think it's gonna be a close fight. Gonna go decision, and they're gonna get a Keyshawn. But if he does lose and he blames it on that, yeah, he does have a leg to stand, and we're gonna see there's no shame in his game. Like, yeah, this guy's he'll use the excuse. Why not?
Hey, Mikey, and also remember the curse of fighting for the first time at home.
At
I
home.
mean, we've seen that several times, man. It's a curse. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So he has a lot of things
yeah. There's a
against
lot
him
of
right
pressure
now.
for this young
He
man.
I,
does. Yeah.
yeah, I think this would be a really good fight, man. If it goes a distance, I mean, definitely Limon's. He doesn't stand that good of a chance to get it from the judges, man. So we'll see what happens. I favor him. I think he's gonna win. I do, but I think
Who?
Judge Gustavo Limons.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
Gustavo
okay.
Limons.
I'm
I
with
think
you.
he's
I'm
gonna.
with you.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win. Um, man, I think the judges might give it to. He's gonna have to drop Keyshawn once or twice, though. He's gonna
Yeah.
have to do something. He's gonna have to do something like that, and then Keyshawn could come back and say like, "Oh yeah, well he was overweight." Here's where I stand on that. Part of me says like, "Look, homie, you knew you took the money and you took the fight. You could have said no, right? So you have no leg to stand on." But then another part of me says also, like, well, yeah, that could be the reason why you really actually did lose the fight. So, but if you take the money, you take the fight, you shouldn't complain about it. Don't complain about it. You can bring it up and say, like, well, okay, I didn't want the fight to get canceled. So it was either this or no fight, which it sucks that it's like that. Very unprofessional not to make weight, but Gustavo Limons knows that he has really no power. So it's like I'm not gonna get drained. I don't mean power with a fist. I mean power in the business to mandate anything. He's not even the B side in this fight. He's like the C or D side. So, but I think this would be a really tough fight for Keyshawn
Yeah.
Davis. Um, Moving right along, guys. Bam Rodriguez tomorrow in the co-main event. This is gonna be good, man. I always like watching Bam Rodriguez fight. He's fighting this guy Pedro
Guevara.
Guevara. Guevara.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I know I've seen this guy fight before. I just
Yeah.
can't pinpoint it where. This dude's got a lot of fights. This guy's got about 45 fights, man, more than 45 fights. Mikey, what's your thoughts about this?
I mean, this guy's a older gentleman. He's 35 years old. older when it comes to
Mm.
boxing. If I'm not mistaken, he's 35. Or let's see, 35 years old. He fought Maloney in Australia.
Yeah,
That maybe you seen him
There
there,
you
and he
go.
fought
There you go.
Quadras. He fought
and
Quadras.
he beat Maloney, right?
He
He
beat
beat
Maloney.
Maloney.
He
Yeah,
beat
Yeah,
yeah. Remember?
Maloney.
Yeah, we
yeah.
covered that fight, I believe. And he fought Quadras. He took an L from Quadras, El Príncipe. So that maybe that's where you seen him. I seen his skill. Mexican fighter, just tough Mexican fighter. I don't see a lot of technique. I don't see his defensive. From what I've seen, I don't know much about him, but yeah, but he is tough. He's a Mexican fighter. Those guys, their game. You know what I mean? So what do I see in the fight with Bam? Or we're not there yet?
Yeah, no, give it to us, man.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly what I've been hearing, and that Bam fights to the level of his opponents. This guy's not the best opponent, and I heard that Bam's calling a knockout, so he's kind of putting a lot of pressure, and he's cocky. Remember, Bam's got dropped by Gallito because he doesn't have caution. He's boom boom, he believes in himself. He right now he's on top of the world. So you know these Mexicans are party poopers. I keep repeating and keep repeating. If someone's gonna beat you, is a Mexican, most likely that you never heard of or just out of nowhere. So hey, he's got dropped, so he is vulnerable. This you're fighting a Mexican national, and then Bam fights to the level of his opponents, and also he is a superstar in the making. But if you really think about it, he's fighting older fighters too. Cuadras, 33 years old. El Gallo, 34 years old. Rubenstein, 35 years old, and he beats him. And now this guy, 35 years old, like he's not really fighting top young fighters. Is there any top fighters in that division? You guys got to. I got to really do research or let me know. But yeah, this guy's an older fighter. Bam should take care of business, I believe, man. But it should be a good fight. But I got Bam.
Okay, all right. Good observation, man. That's a good point. The guys he's fighting is a lot older. Hey, David, what's your thoughts about Bam Rodriguez, aka the Legend Killer, since he's only fighting a bunch of older dudes, man, and he's giving in the business? How do you like this fight, David?
You know what? I like this fight. This guy is, I mean, like Mikey said, these Mexicans, these individuals that come from Mexico, they're the spoilers. I don't see a spoil on this one, but I see Bam being challenged. I do. I see Bam being challenged. It's not going to be an easy fight. I see a knockout. And the question that I have for you guys, why isn't Bam one of the top 10 pound for pound fighters in the world? I mean, look at Bam. I mean, dude, he's beat some high level fighters. Went from 112 to 115, back to 112. I mean, Sonny Edwards. I mean, look who he has fought. I mean,
Yeah.
why? Because, but they did have Chocolatito as pound for many years. But why not Bam? Can you guys answer that one?
I mean, I can't give a definitive. I would say maybe, just maybe, that those little guys like Rob Chocolatito, but I think those small weight classes get overlooked a lot
Yeah.
until you've done it all like Chocolatito. But once you maybe at 122, 126 and above, there's a little bit more of a spotlight on you. But those super small guys kind of get ignored for the most part by the boxing world. That's the best thing I could come up with.
I mean, do you guys think that Bam's done it all already? All he needs is
No,
Chocolatito.
I
I'm
I would
talking
say,
about
okay.
115, 112. You know what? Bam's a
Yeah.
chaparro. I don't see
Mm.
Bam going to 122, dude. He'd be lucky if he goes to 118. I don't see him going to 122. Do you guys see him going to 122?
Go ahead, Ed. You want?
For one opponent, for a right opponent, yes, but to be campaigning there for his whole career, maybe not. For some sort of mega fight, if it can be made, possibly.
Yeah, yeah. I don't how I gotta look him up. How tall is he? Do they add an inch? He looks kind of long. No, did he? He looks a
He
little
has,
long.
he
So
has a big
huh?
head. He has a big
That's a
head.
big ass head. No,
Yeah.
did he?
I got it right here. He's 5'4".
Okay.
Okay,
5'4".
that's not bad, is it?
How
Pacquiao was like
tall? How tall are you, Mikey?
5'7". Canelo
No, without tacones.
5'6.5".
So 5'4". Okay, so he's. Oh, I thought he was shorter than that, Ed. I thought he was like 5'2", dude. So
Uh,
5'4",
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah, he's 5'4". So
I mean,
I think this will
not
be
that
a good
tiny.
one, man.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I think this will be a good one. His opponent, freaking Guerrera, he's 5'4" as well. So there are two chaparrillos in there that throw some chingazos.
He
Chaparrillos.
looked taller. He looked taller when they faced off. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's tall. And I looked at him like that was a chaparro too.
Yeah.
So
Chaparro.
yeah,
All right. Does
they're all little dudes.
David, final thoughts on this fight? Is it a stoppage or no?
I think so. If not, it'll go 10 rounds. We'll go 10. If it's 10 or 12 rounds, whatever it is, and it'll be a decision. But I hope it goes all 12 rounds or 10 rounds. And the only reason why is because I love watching Bam box. I love watching him box, man. I mean, he's our Chicano, or yeah, he's a Chicano, or Tejano Lomachenko. And
Okay.
yeah, I want to see the 10 or 12 rounds because I enjoy watching them.
Okay. Mikey, does it go the distance?
I think this fight, I know it's just mandatory, but I think he'll take care of business. He's on a high level right now, Bam.
Yeah.
Just don't get a little too cocky, and I think he'll chop him down. He's got the power. He's got the skill. Set him up. Yeah, I'm gonna call knockout. I don't know why. I'll call it.
Yeah, I'm calling a stoppage by 9-10 rounds. So let's get it, Bam. Let's get it. All right, headlining that card is Jerron Boots Ennis getting in there against Karen Chukasiza, whatever his last name is.
Chupacabra.
Against
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra, man. Against Chupacabra. That's right.
Chupadazian.
Um, I don't know much about this dude. He's 24-2. That's his record. And this is the main event. And this is gonna be happening in Philly. You know, another home showing for Boots Ennis. He's 28 years old. His opponent is Karen. 28
Yeah.
years old. He's an inch shorter than Boots, and he's got 26 fights. Two of them with losses. But David, what's your thoughts of this fight?
Ed, we've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
Mm,
You know that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Ed, we've seen
Yeah.
this movie. Ed, no, literally, he fought him before. He fought
Oh,
him
did he?
before.
Yeah, he looked
no,
bad. He looked bad.
dude, he looked bad. He fought him before. This is his second fight with him. That's why people are not excited about it. He beat him. He fought him
Oh,
before. Pull him
man.
up. Pull him up real quick.
Yeah, he fought him
Yeah.
before,
I'm
but
gonna
Boots
pull
Ennis
that up.
looked bad. He looked bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
is
the fight that
yeah.
everybody was. Yeah.
This is the guy that is white as Casper, but he fights well.
Yeah.
No, that's Karen. You're right. We've
Yeah.
seen it before. That was a good
He's
Yeah.
fight.
he's a Ukrainian fighter. He can
Yes.
move.
He
You know,
can
you
move.
could
That
Lomachenko
was
on
a
them.
good fight. That was a very
Yeah.
good fight.
Yeah.
So we've seen it before. I mean, it was a good fight. It was a
Yeah.
very good fight. Yeah.
Okay. So,
JC, very close.
and what do you think about this fight? What do you think about the revancha?
You know what? I like it. You know what? I forgot that it was him, Mikey. So you mentioned
Okay.
it right now. You know what? That was a very close fight, man. I mean, Boots Ennis, we talked about it. Ed, I don't know if you remember. We talked
Yeah.
about it. We were like, you know what? Boots Ennis was exposed. We kept saying he got exposed. You know
Mhm.
what? I like this fight, man. I like it now. Now I'm excited.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay, you're right. It's just these guys just fly so under the radar. He fought him in January, which is the beginning of the year of last year of 2023, and Boots Ennis won in a unanimous decision. That's right. And then Boots Ennis went on to fight Romain Villa,
Villa.
and then David Aberdeen, and now here's the revancha. All right. Okay, that's right, man. This guy flew under the radar for me. This is a rematch. Mikey, what's your thoughts about this fight, man?
I like this fight, man. There's a lot of pressure on Boots Ennis. He's the star, the headliner of this fight. Is he at Boots Ennis' house? No, right? They're not. Where they
Yeah,
fight?
they're Philly.
Yeah. They're in his
Yeah,
house
Oh,
too.
so
Philly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Philly.
pressure. He needs a knockout. He needs a knockout, and he needs to learn how to cut the. He needs to cut the ring because this guy's gonna keep moving and moving and moving. Not only does he move, but he hits Boots in his boom with shot with right hands or hooks. So he needs to learn how to cut the ring, not just follow him. And Boots could get hurt. I know Karen only has a 54 punch knockout ratio, but if you could get hit with a shot that you don't see, and you could get hurt or stop. So when you're following a fighter, when you're just chasing, you run into shots. So he needs to learn how to cut the ring and go to the body and use his jab. Boots doesn't really use his jab like it's just a fancy type of jab, but no, he really has to use that jab and he needs to go to the body to chop those legs and cut the ring. So there's a lot for Boots. There's tape now, right? This is second fight, so there's tape he could study. So Boots got the skills. Boots has his dad as a coach, and they got tape now. So he better learn something. He better study tape because it's gonna be a long night and he's gonna be running into shots. If he don't learn from what if he doesn't know how to cut the ring. So he needs a knockout, and there's pressure on Boots. And I like this fight. I like this fight.
Okay. Where is Karen from?
Ukraine.
Where is he?
Oh, East LA, Holmes.
He's an Eastern European. I've been praising these Eastern Europeans, man. These Eastern Europeans on another level. I've become a
Yeah.
big fan of these Eastern Europeans, Holmes. Unfortunately, if it's a close fight, they're not gonna get the shake from the judges. It's just not gonna happen. Not a lot of fights for Boots Ennis to grow that much. So he had two fights in between this rematch with Karen. Okay. Sure, you could learn. You could learn a little bit here and there. I just don't know how much adjustments you can really make. The thing is, the downside on this is, gentlemen, is that for Boots Ennis, is that Karen actually stood more busy than Boots. He fought three times, stopping two out of his opponents in those three fights coming in to this Boots Ennis fight. His last fight was back in May of this year. And that was a unanimous decision. But the two fights before that, dudes I've never heard of, but there were TKOs. So he's been back on the winning bracket. It's not like he's been sitting on his hands just waiting for a Boots Ennis rematch. So, man, you know what? I'm a heck of a lot more excited.
Me too. Me too.
This just
Yeah.
I had no idea. I did not look into this. I'm gonna be going for my Eastern European people,
Fighters.
man. You know what? Yeah, just because I'm such a fan of these dudes. Um, Boots Ennis still has a career if he loses. Um, but let's keep it real here. David, who wins this fight and how?
You know, Ed, believe it or not, we discussed it. I remember now.
Mm,
Boots got exposed that night, and
mm.
some of us, I don't remember how we tallied it, but it was a very, very close fight, man. It was a close fight. So you know what? I mean, Boots is supposed to win, but I hope that Karen wins, man. I really do, because I remember after that fight, I felt bad for him because
Mm.
and he was pretty upset. Um, I felt bad for him. And you know what? Thank God that he's having an opportunity to get the revenge. So you know what? I'm gonna go with Karen just because of that, man. You know what I mean? Because
But
you know what? God allowed him to get the revenge, and you know what? He's gonna come in stronger. But I like
Is this a
Boots. I
mandatory?
like Boots. Yes, it
This
is.
a
It's
mandatory?
mandatory. This is mandatory.
Yeah.
Yes,
I,
it's
I,
very
Yeah, dude.
mandatory. Yeah.
I mean, what else can you ask from this dude? This guy, he did not sit on his hands. He went and fought three times. He
Yeah.
stood more he stayed more busy than Boots did. Boots fought twice. This guy went and fought three times, two of them by stoppage. He earned this rematch.
He did. He did.
Mikey, how does this fight end?
Yeah, this could be a spoiler, Ed. If you really think about it, Boots and his last two opponents, these guys had cement feet. They had duck feet. They were flat-footed. Villa and freaking Venetian. They no boxers. They don't move like that. But it's a mandatory, so it's not like he knew that, or he didn't even have that in mind. I didn't have that in mind. Like, hey, you gotta fight a boxer to get you ready for this freaking Ukrainian, because these guys are like the Mexicans too. They're spoilers too. They'll expose you. And from the looks of it, you're saying that he's sitting on his punches a little bit more. He could hurt Boots Ennis, man. There's a lot of pressure on Boots. I like Boots. That's my boy. But you can't underestimate these Ukrainians, man. What do you want me to call it? Or
Yeah,
Call it, Mikey. Call it.
call it and how and how does it?
I mean, shit, dude. Nah, I want to be. This is not. I'm probably gonna be wrong on this one, dude. Uh, wait
The
up.
pressure's on you. It's not on Boots. It's on you right here in the hot seat.
Shit. I want to go with you the tree spoiler. I want to say that, but I like Boots, man. I hope this freaking I was gonna say this dumbass, but I hope fucking he learns how to cut the ring and just use his jab. He's got the long reach and just the jab to control him and body. Invest to the body. I'm gonna go for Boots, dude. I'm gonna go for Boots, even though he can get hurt, he can get stopped. I'm gonna go Boots. Boots. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here's how I'm gonna go, man. Here's how I'm so damn excited for this fight now. Okay. So I gotta get me a bottle of Jack Daniels for tomorrow. All right. So I think Karen is gonna win, and we're gonna see a trilogy of this.
Wow.
There is not a lot going on at welterweight for
No.
Boots Ennis. Yeah, people keep talking about him at 154 and 154. There's not a lot going on. If this fight, they're not going to give it to Karen. I'm not saying they're going to give it to him. I think he's actually really going to earn the victory, right? I think they do give it to him, and people will start, it's in Philly. People start booing and all that stuff. It was a close fight. I don't think Boots Ennis gets stopped. I don't think he gets completely washed in the fight. But I do think at the end of the fight, people that are non-biased are going to say, yeah, Karen did win the fight. He truly did win the fight. 7-5 or something like that. Pretty easy, right? To score some of these rounds. And then there's a trilogy on this fight, man. I think that's the way it's gonna go. So, who do I think wins? I think Karen wins. A stoppage? Man, I don't
I
know,
mean, Boots
man.
got a 90% knockout ratio. Like you can't dismiss a stoppage, but you can't hit what you can't see. This Boot just fucking keeps moving and moving and
He
moving.
does.
So
Yeah. Damn. All right. Good stuff, gentlemen. I'm so damn excited now, man. So, all right. Damn, I'm really gonna enjoy this tomorrow. So I'm really hearing everything. Do not bother me. I even forgot about the JoJo Diaz fight. Son of a gun.
Hey Ed, did you know
I
that?
told you.
Hey Ed, did you know that Jojo Diaz is like the number 4 down from the main event? I was just reading it.
Is he?
He's the number 4 down from the main event. And
Oh man.
it's only 45 minutes from my house, Plant City. That's the place that I
Yeah.
told you that it's a rehabilitation center.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But he's the
I didn't
4th
know.
fight down. Yeah, he's not even main event.
Oh, okay. I thought he was the main event.
You would
Oh
think.
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey man, that is one Mr. David Contreras. That is Mike Zavala, Mikey TV, Cholo Truck, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Enjoy the fights. Whatever you guys do this weekend, enjoy doing it. Be safe doing this. We come back and do it again. Till next time, catch you guys on the next round.